Good morning to students. Today we will discuss the chapter relation. As we are social animals, human beings are social animals, so we are all acquainted with relation. In our family, father-son relation, brother-sister relation, brother-brother relation. So the question comes, what is that relation? In mathematical language, before that I will define Cartesian product of two sets. If A and B are two sets, then Cartesian product of A and B is denoted as A cross B. It is also called cross product of two sets, where A cross B is, this is reading as set of all ordered pairs xy, set of all ordered pairs xy such that x belongs to A, y belongs to B. That is, the first element of the ordered pair belongs to the first set and second element of the ordered pair belongs to the second set B. So, if R is a relation from a set A to a set B, then R is subset of their Cartesian product A cross B. So virtually relation is always subset of Cartesian product of two sets on which the relation is defined. Let us define with an example. Let A having elements 1, 2, 3, B having elements 1, 4, 9. Let there exist a relation between the elements of A and B, that is, relation R is defined as set of all ordered pairs xy such that x square equal to y. That is, elements of elements of A are square roots of elements of B, or element of B are squares of elements of A. So now question comes, what are the elements of R here? 1, 1, 2, 4, 3, 9. Here A cross B, that is all ordered pairs, all possible ordered pairs taking consideration of elements of A and B, 1, 1, 1, 4, 1, 9, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, 9, 3, 1, 3, 4, 3, 9. You are all acquainted with the meaning of subsets. Here all the elements of R are present in the set A cross B. Therefore, R is a subset of A cross B. So, a relation R from A to B is always a subset of their Cartesian product. Let us consider another example. 1, 2, 3. Suppose A, B, C. This is also called graphical representation of a relation. Symbolically we can write R is a relation from A to B, reading as R is a relation from A to B. Here 1 is related to A, 2 is related to B, 3 is related to C. That is, are having order pairs 1a, 2b, 3c. We can write it also as 1 related to A, 2 related to B, 3 related to C. We can also write like this. Now the question comes, what are A and B of the relation R? Set A is called domain of R. A is called domain of R, or in short form, some of books you will find like this, domain of R. It is set of all ordered pair elements X such that ordered pair xy belongs to R. I have earlier told that the elements of relation are all ordered pairs xy belongs to R for some y belongs to B. Similarly, B is called range of R, in short form range of R, that is set of all ordered elements y such that ordered pairs xy belongs to R, and for some x belongs to capital set A. Now the question comes whether there exists a relation from reverse side, that is from B to A. If we can define a relation from B to A, then it is called R inverse relation of R. Here A is called domain of R, B is called range of R. While we are considering the inverse relation, it will be automatically reversed, that is domain of R equal to range of R inverse, range of R equals to domain of R inverse. So naturally the ordered pairs will be reversed. Here in this example, R having elements 1a, 2b, 3c. So R inverse is defined as, just reverse the ordered pairs, that is A1, B2, C3. So inverse relation is defined like this. I hope you will follow my points. What is domain of R, range of R, domain of R inverse and range of R inverse. Then we will go for types of relations. First, one-on relation. This relation is called one-one. One element of the domain is related to one element of range set V. Second one, many-one relation, that is in the domain set there are many elements and in the range set there will be only one element. This function is many-one relation. Suppose we will consider this classroom as a many-one relation, as you all people, all students will be in the domain and in the range set keep the teacher. Then this relation is many-one relation. Sometimes there may be some elements in set B which is not related to any element of A. This is also many-one relation. Next comes your many-many relation. Many elements of the domain are related to many elements of the range set. Like this. This relation is called many-many relations. Also, let us consider our day-to-day life example, market. Suppose we are going to the market. There are so many shops are there, so many customers are there. The relation is between the customer and the shopkeepers are many. Let us consider also the example of a college. There are several teachers and several students are there. So the relation is many. Next, one many relations. That means in the domain set there is only one element, and in the range set many elements. This is your one many relation, or you can keep some elements also here without related to any element of the range set. Always we are interested here for binary relation, because in all these examples we are dealing the relation between two elements only. That is, if the relation is existing between two elements, then the relation is called a binary relation or simply a relation. Then comes our special type relation. Reflexive. Let A is a non-empty set, R is a relation defined over A. Reflexive. What is reflexive property? Let X belongs to A. If X related to X, the element is related to itself, that is ordered pair XX belongs to R, then R is reflexive. Symmetric. Next point is symmetric. For XY belongs to A, if X related to Y, that implies YRX is true. That means our assumption is X related to Y, and we will show that Y related to X is also true. If this relation is satisfied, then R is symmetric. Next is transitive. Here we have to consider three elements. For XYZ belongs to A, if X related to Y, Y related to Z, that implies XRZ is true. X related to Y, Y related to Z implies X related to Z is true. Then R is transitive. If all these relations are satisfied, that means three properties, reflexive, symmetric and transitive, over a set A with the relation R, then the relation is said to be an equivalence relation. So very interesting relation is equivalence relation. If the relation are defined over a set A, that is R is a subset of A square, then if the relation R is defined over set A and R is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, then R is an equivalence relation. Failure of any one of these properties will not entertain the relation as an equivalence relation. over the set of all straight lines in a plane, let the relation R is defined as x related to y if and only if x is parallel to y. Reflexive. We know that a straight line is always parallel to itself. Like this, if these are straight lines in a plane, a straight line x is always parallel to itself. So reflexive property is satisfied as a straight line is parallel to itself. That implies x is parallel to x, that is ordered pair x, x belongs to R, or x related to x is true. So reflexive property is satisfied. Then we will come to our symmetric property. Let x related to y, that is x is parallel to y, then also y is parallel to x, that is y r x is true, or ordered pair yx belongs to R. That implies R is symmetric. Next, transitive. Let us consider three straight lines x, y, z. Let x r y, y r z is true, that is x is parallel to y is parallel to z, that implies x is parallel to z. So x r z is true, or ordered pair x z belongs to R, so R is transitive. As the relation of parallelism over the set of straight lines satisfies reflexive, symmetric and transitive property, therefore the relation of parallelism is an equivalence relation. Let us consider another example. In a family, the relation of brotherhood, that is x related to y, implies x is brother of y. Reflexive. We know that a person cannot be brother of himself, so x Rx is not true, as a person cannot be brother of himself, so x Rx is not true, implies R is not reflexive. Symmetric. Let x related to y, that is x is brother of y. Then question is whether y is brother of x or not. Naturally, you might have a query that or interest that y is brother of x, but it is not always true. If Rama is brother of Sita, then Sita may not be brother of Rama. So in that case, Y may or may not be brother of X. That is, YRX is not true always. So R is not symmetric. What about transitive? Let X related to Y related to Z. That is, X is brother of Y and Y is brother of Z. That implies X is brother of Z. Because if X is brother of Y, then X must be a male person, and the question is Y may or may not be a male person. But come to our second point, Y is brother of Z, so Y must be a male person. We are not interested about Z, whether he or she is Z, that is Z is a male or female, still then X is brother of Z. So X or Z is always true. So the relation of brotherhood over a family is neither reflexive nor symmetric but transitive. In the set of all straight lines in a plane, the relation perpendicular to, that is X or Y, if X is perpendicular to Y. The relation is defined like this: X, Y, suppose Z. Reflexive. A straight line can never be perpendicular to itself, that is X cannot be perpendicular to itself. So reflexive is not satisfied. Straight line is not perpendicular to itself. So reflexive property is not satisfied. Symmetric. Suppose X is related to Y. That implies X is perpendicular to Y. Then Y must be perpendicular to Z. Come to our day-to-day geometrical figure, X axis and Y axis. If X axis is perpendicular to Y, then obviously Y axis is perpendicular to X axis. Transitive. If X related to Y related to Z, that is X is perpendicular to Y is perpendicular to Z, that implies X is may or may not be perpendicular to Z. In this case, X, Y, Z, X is perpendicular to Y is perpendicular to Z, but X cannot be perpendicular to Z. It may be parallel to Z. Now the question comes whether in all the cases it is not true. No. Let us consider our three-dimensional figure, X axis, Y axis, Z axis. In this case, it is possible. X axis is perpendicular to Y axis is perpendicular to Z axis, therefore X axis is perpendicular to Z axis. It is a specific case in case of coordinate axis. So X is not perpendicular to Z always. Therefore, your transitive property is not satisfied. So the relation of perpendicular to over the set of straight lines in a plane is neither reflexive nor transitive but symmetric. Then we will discuss about another relation, congruence modulo relation. Let AB belongs to R, Z, and n is any positive integer, then A is congruent to B mod n is denoted as reading like this: A is congruent to B mod n, which implies A minus B is divisible by n, or A minus B is a multiple of n. As for example, 15 is congruent to 0 mod 5. 15 minus 0 is 15, so it is divisible by 5. So 15 is congruent to 0 mod 5. We can take 12 is congruent to 5 mod 7. That is, if we will divide 12 by 7, the remainder will be 5, or 12 minus 5, that is 7, is divisible by 7. So this is the meaning of congruence modulo relation. This congruence modulo relation is an equivalence relation. This congruence modulo relation over the set of integers is an equivalence relation. Let us see whether it is possible or not. As A minus A equal to 0 is divisible by n. 0 is divisible by any number. So A is congruent to A mod n. That implies R is reflexive. If the relation R is taken as congruence modulo relation, then R is reflexive. Symmetric. Let A related to B. That implies A is congruent to B mod n. That implies A minus B is divisible by n. Suppose 20 is divisible by 5, then minus 20 is also divisible by 5. That implies, my point is, if A minus B is divisible by n, then minus of A minus B is also divisible by n. That is, B minus A is divisible by n. That implies B is congruent to A mod n. That implies R is symmetric. Next we will come to our transitive property. Transitive part. Let A is congruent to B mod n, B is congruent to C mod n. That implies A minus B is divisible by n, B minus C is divisible by n. Suppose 25 is divisible by 5, 20 is also divisible by 5, then 25 plus 20, that is 45, is divisible by 5. Similarly, A minus B divisible by n, B minus C is divisible by n. So A minus B plus B minus C is divisible by n. That implies ultimately we have A minus C is divisible by n. That implies A is congruent to C mod n. That implies A related to C is true. That is, R is transitive. Therefore, the congruence modulo relation over the set of integers is an equivalence relation. In place of n, you can give any positive integer. The statement will be true for all the positive integers. By mathematical induction, you can prove this also. Any number you can fix any positive integer there in place of n. let over the set of integers R is defined as A or B if and only if A minus B is even. Now we can verify whether it is reflexive, symmetric or transitive. Reflexive as A minus A equal to 0. My point is whether 0 is even or odd. 0 is divisible by any number, 0 is divisible by 2, therefore 0 is always even. That implies A or A is true, implies R is reflexive. Symmetric as let A related to B, that implies A minus B is even. If 4 is an even number, then minus 4 is also even. That implies minus of A minus B is even. That implies B minus A is also even. That implies B or A is true. That implies R is symmetric. Then transitive. Let A related to B, B related to C, that implies A minus B is even, B minus C is even. So we know that sum of two even integers is always even. So A minus B plus B minus C is always even. That implies A minus C is even. That implies A or C is true, implies R is transitive. Therefore, the relation defined as A related to B if and only if A minus B is even is an equivalence relation. Another interesting example let us consider. In a family, X related to Y, if X is father of Y. Now we will verify which properties are satisfied by this relation R. So let us come first to reflexive property. A person cannot be father of himself, so X or X is not true. As a person cannot be father of himself, so X or X is not true. That implies R is not reflexive. Then symmetric. Let X related to Y implies X is father of Y, then Y cannot be father of X, then Y is not father of X. That implies R is not symmetric. Let X related to Y, Y related to Z, that implies X is father of Y and Y is father of Z. Then X cannot be father of Z because X is grandfather only. X cannot be father of Z, so R is not transitive. So this relation R, that is relation of fatherhood in a family, is neither reflexive nor symmetric nor transitive. Then we'll come to another part, that is equivalence class. Let A is a non-empty set and R is an equivalence relation over A. Now, for an element A belongs to A. Equivalence class of A is denoted as RA, or in some of the books it will be written like this. It is set of all x belongs to A such that ordered pair XA belongs to R, that is x related to A. The elements which are satisfying the relation with the element A are members of this equivalence class of A. Congruence modulo 5 is an equivalence relation over the set of integers. If we will divide a number by 5, then the possible remainders are 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So they are the members of all the possible equivalence classes over the congruence modulo 5 relation. So what are the members of equivalence class of 0? That is, if we will divide a number by 5, then possible remainders will be 0. 0 plus or minus 5 plus or minus 10 and so on. All multiples, positive and negative multiples of 5 are members of this equivalence class. Similarly, equivalence class of 1, that is 1, on the right side add 5 successively, 6, 11, 16 and so on. Minus 5, minus 4, minus 9 like this. All are infinite sets. Similarly, equivalence class of 2, 2, 7, 12, 17 and so on. Minus 3, minus 8 and so on. Equivalence class of 3, 3, 8, 13 and so on. Minus 2, minus 7 like this. Equivalence class of 4, that is 4, 9, 14 and so on, minus 1, minus 6 and so on. So these are 5 equivalence classes of congruence modulo 5 relation, and if we will take the union of all these equivalence classes, we will get the set of real numbers, the set of integers. That means this congruence modulo 5 relation divides the set of integers into 5 disjoint equivalence classes. 5 disjoint equivalence classes. You all acquainted with the meaning of disjoint, because there is no common element between all these equivalence classes, therefore they are called disjoint, and union of these equivalence classes together will give the set of integers. There is a question whether what is the smallest relation, equivalence relation, and what is the largest equivalence relation. Over a set A, smallest equivalence relation is phi and largest equivalence relation is A cross A. From set theory you know that the empty set phi is subset of every set. Therefore, A cross A is also a set, so phi is a subset of A cross A. Therefore, this empty set is an equivalence relation, and that is called smallest equivalence relation. For the proof you can take it vacuously, and over the set A, the largest set of ordered pairs is A cross A, therefore it is the largest equivalence relation. Let us consider another example. Let R is a relation of equality. That is, R is set of all elements all order pairs x, y such that x equal to y. If x has only one element, then what is the equivalence class of this element? A. Equivalence class of A consists of only one ordered pairs A. Class contains only one element as it is a set of all A such that A equals to A. In case of x equal to z, the set of integers, that is 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, and so on. So, equivalence class of 0 contains only one element, equivalence class of 1 contains 1, equivalence class of minus 1 contains minus 1, like this. You can take all individual elements and you will get all the equivalence classes. Let us solve another problem. Let another question. Let R and S are two equivalence relations defined over a set A. Then R intersection is an equivalence relation. Let A belongs to A. Here R and S both are equivalence relations. That means R and S satisfies reflexive, symmetric and transitive properties. So for A belongs to A belongs to A, ordered pair A belongs to R, and ordered pair A belongs to S. Because all are, since R and S are reflexive, that implies ordered pair A belongs to R intersection S. Similarly, for AB belongs to A, R and S are also symmetric. R and S are symmetric. That implies AB belongs to R, implies BA belongs to R, that is due to symmetric property. AB belongs to S, implies BA belongs to S, that implies AB belongs to R intersection S, implies BA belongs to R intersection S. Therefore, from first case, ordered pair A belongs to R intersection S means R intersection S is reflexive. Here R intersection S is symmetric. Similarly, R and S are both transitive. Let A, B, C belongs to A, AB belongs to R, BC belongs to R, implies SC belongs to R. Since R and S both are transitive, similarly AB belongs to S, BC belongs to S, implies SC belongs to S. AB belongs to S, BC belongs to S, implies SC belongs to S. That implies SC belongs to R intersection S, implies R intersection is transitive. Therefore, if R and S are equivalence relations, then their intersection is also an equivalence relation. My question, what is about the union of these two relations? Whether R union S is an equivalence relation or not. R union S is equivalence or not. Reflexive. Order pair A belongs to R, order pair A belongs to S, implies order pair A belongs to R union S. So R union S is reflexive. Let order pair AB belongs to R, order pair BC belongs to implies order pair BA belongs to R, symmetric property. AB belongs to S, implies BA belongs to S. That implies AB belongs to R union S, implies BA belongs to R union S. So R union S is symmetric. Next we'll move to transitive property. Let A, B, C belongs to A. Let us consider R as A, B, B, C, C, A, B, B, S, A, B, B, C, C, B, C or C, B. Then R union S, A, B, B, C, C, A, B, B, A, B, C, C, B. Here R union S is not transitive, because if you take three elements, then the relation will not be satisfied. R union S is not transitive. Therefore, if R and S are equivalence relations, then their union is an equivalence. Union is not an equivalence relation. It will satisfy only two properties, reflexive and symmetric. Let order pair XY belongs to XY and UV belongs to R square. XY related to UV if x square minus y square equals to u square minus v square. आज let us, for no confusion, xy f is the relation. Here f is the relation. xy belongs to r square, x square minus y square equals to x square minus y square implies order pair xy belongs to r square, that is xy belongs to f, that is f is reflexive. For symmetric, let xy related to or related to uv, that is x square minus y square equals to u square minus v square. Just reverse the order of this equality, implies u square minus v square equals to x square minus y square. How? Thank you very much. So in the next class we will meet in new chapter. Thank you all. U square minus v square equal to x square minus y square, that implies uv related to xy implies f is symmetric. For transitive, xy uv wz, let xy related to uv implies x square minus y square equals to u square minus v square, uv related to wz implies u square minus w square equals to v square minus z square, that implies u square minus v square equals to w square minus z square, that implies x square minus y square equals to w square minus z square, implies order pair xy is related to order pair wz. So f is transitive. So this relation order pair xy related to order pair uv, if and only x square minus y square equals to u square minus v square, is an equivalence relation. Thank you all students.